Lucas Tronche was born on April 18, 1999, to Eric and Natalie Tronche in southern France. At the Marcoule nuclear site, Eric and Natalie both worked as engineers for the French Alternative Energy and Atomic Energy Commission. The couple raised their family in Bagnolet-Cerces, in southern France's Gard department. Lucas was the middle of three children with an older brother named Valentin and a younger brother named Arthur. People described Lucas as shy, kind, helpful, and happy, with a fondness for animals and the outdoors. In 2015, the 15-year-old was in his first year at the Lycée Albert Einstein School in his hometown of Bagnolet-Cerces. He had a favorable group of friends and did well in school, with aspirations of becoming a vet. Lucas was also very active, enjoying swimming and biomonting classes in his spare time. He was also very interested in scouting, having participated in his local scout trip for several years by this point. Lucas was rarely active on the more popular social media platforms, such as Twitter and Facebook, but he was frequently on Snapchat, sending snaps to friends. On Wednesday, March 18, 2015, at around 5:10 p.m., Lucas's older brother, 17-year-old Valentin, informed his younger brother that it was time to leave their home to catch the bus to their swimming lessons that night in Louden-Laude. Before leaving on their scooters for the bus stop, which was about a 20-minute walk away, Lucas told Valentin that he should go there alone while the team locked up the house before joining him. But Lucas never arrived. Around 5:30 p.m., Valentin tried to contact his brother, but Lucas had turned off his phone at 5:14, just minutes before he locked up and left the Tronche residence. Natalie, the boy's mother, returned home from work around 6 p.m. with her youngest son, Arthur, who was 9 years old. Natalie performed some household chores before heading to the swimming pool to collect her elder sons at around 8 p.m., but only Valentin was present. Valentin informed his mother that Lucas had not shown up at the bus stop, and he assumed that his brother had decided to stay at home. Only Natalie informed her eldest son that Lucas was not present. Natalie called nearby accident and emergency rooms to see if her son was receiving treatment, but he was not. Natalie then contacted several of Lucas's friends in an attempt to locate her 15-year-old son, but no one had seen him. Lucas's sudden disappearance was completely out of character, so Natalie contacted police and filed a missing person report right away. Shortly after returning home from work at around 11 p.m., Eric learned of his son's disappearance. After his mother contacted French police, they immediately launched an investigation into Lucas's disappearance. After a week of no news, the SRPJ, the Montpellier Original Judicial Police Service, and the OCRVP took over the case. Search teams and volunteers conducted numerous searches in the area, combing the hills, cliffs, and paths within a 4-kilometer radius of the Tronche home. Helicopters, search dogs, and search and rescue teams also assisted in searching the river for Lucas. Approximately 1,500 people participated in the search, but they found no trace of the boy. Various social media platforms shared his image and information, prompting a number of French public figures to request information. Following their son's disappearance, the Tronche parents appeared on several television programs to raise awareness of his case. Lucas was not the type of person to just flee. According to his family, he had no obvious reason to do so. He didn't have any family issues. On the contrary, he was extremely close to his family, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary at school. At the time, it was thought possible that Lucas had left on his own accord for unknown reasons, or that he had been abducted after leaving his home. The possibility that Lucas committed suicide and fled to fight for or against the Islamic State in the Middle East was ruled out by authorities. Police conducted extensive interviews with Lucas's family, friends, teachers, and sports coaches as the investigation into his disappearance progressed, but they found nothing significant. We questioned bus drivers who were also in the area that day, but to no avail. We then searched Lucas's room for clues, discovering that he had actually left the house without his swimming gear. He also left without his ID or scooter, but he did leave with a rucksack containing only a few items of significance. The 15-year-old, who knew a lot about the outdoors and survival, didn't bring any money, a sleeping bag, shelter, or even a knife. If Lucas had intended to leave home, He would have known to pack such supplies to survive in the wilderness. It is unclear why Lucas left his home. While searching Lucas's bedroom for clues, they found nothing significant. On the day in question, they found that Lucas's phone displayed multiple Snapchat usages. U.S. authorities granted permission to access Lucas's app conversations, but they discovered no suspicious or unusual activity. However, it is believed that Lucas spoke with someone via the Snapchat app with the intention of meeting this individual or group of people. Several witnesses presented themselves to the police claiming to have seen Lucas on the day he disappeared. One female witness claims to have seen the 15-year-old on Chemin du Saldunin between 5:15 and 5:30 p.m., heading away from the swimming pool and towards the vineyards. The next day, March 19th, another woman came forward claiming that she saw a teenager crossing a yard near her farm around midday, a male wearing a burgundy down jacket similar to the one Lucas was wearing when he went missing. This sighting was not far from the previous day's sighting, as it headed towards the vineyards. After informing police of the alleged sighting, authorities arrived on the farm with sniffer dogs, which followed the scent for about a kilometer north before coming to a halt. Nothing was found. Later that day, March 19th, as a group of volunteers searched for Lucas, a Tronche's family friend noticed what appeared to be a silhouette of a young person sitting on top of a nearby hill around 6:30 p.m. It was now dusk. Rashid Gamari, a family friend, photographed the strange person, but it was far too grainy to identify the individual, and we still don't know who they were. Rashid then began calling out Lucas's name several times, but the silhouette on the hill rose to their feet and simply walked away. 4 days later, on March 23rd at approximately 10:30 a.m., more volunteers noticed this strange silhouette standing on the hills of Songchilvis. The person standing there is observing the walkers in the nearby vineyard. Witnesses reported that this individual, once again unidentifiable, wore dark clothing. Volunteers approached the silhouette, but by the time they arrived, they had vanished into the woods where the person had been standing. According to one source, one of the search dogs left markings at this location, implying that the unidentified person could have been Lucas Tronche. Around a week later, another witness, a 25-year-old motorcyclist, came forward to the authorities, claiming to have seen Lucas riding his bike through a neighboring village on the afternoon of March 23rd. According to this witness, Lucas was wearing a rucksack and walking along a track towards the hamlet of Esplazoun, which was facing a hill. The biker's description of Lucas was very accurate, so this new lead appeared promising. Police, both on the ground and in the helicopter, scoured the area for clues after the witness testimony, this time accompanied by search dogs, but they found nothing significant. A father and daughter also came forward to police, claiming to have seen someone matching Lucas's description on March 28th at the Colter du Ponte store, according to the clues. According to them, Lucas was with an older female aged 45 to 50. Despite authorities once again investigating these leads, nothing happened. Shortly after Lucas's disappearance, forensic investigators searched the Tronche home for any traces of blood. They used a product called luminol, which reacts to the presence of blood, and investigators discovered what appeared to be traces of blood on the carpet near Lucas's bed. Despite renewed testing in May 2017, they never made public the results of this test, attempting to determine whether the luminol had definitively revealed blood or if it was simply reacting to a common household product. Around 7 months after Lucas's disappearance in October 2015, the Tronche family began to receive strange anonymous letters informing Eric and Natalie that Lucas was fine and not to worry. Over the next 9 months, investigators examined CCTV footage at the sorting office, where they found one of the letters posted on July 12, 2016. As it turned out, the sender of these letters was a 57-year-old methomaniac from the lawn who had nothing to do with Lucas's disappearance. The court sentenced the man to 1 year in prison with an additional year suspended in October 2017. French police released a composite sketch of a witness near the Tronche residence on the day Lucas disappeared in December 2016. They slightly modified the sketch in September the following year to provide a more accurate depiction of this individual, whose identity remains unknown. In March 2016, authorities investigating Lucas's disappearance discovered Antoine Zoya. In a number of ways, Antoine was similar to Lucas, particularly in personality. Antoine vanished after purchasing cigarettes from a local back nest. The police attempted to establish a clear link between the two cases because they were both of the same age, had similar personalities, and lived only 38 miles apart. However, they discovered Antoine's skeletal remains hanging in a remote woodland near Clavins-Sac, where he disappeared in October 2018. No foul play is suspected. In January 2018, authorities investigated another possible lead in this case. They suspected a connection between Lucas's disappearance and a man named Nordel Lalande, the primary suspect in the disappearance of Miles D. Araujo, an 8-year-old girl from Chambéry, southern eastern France. Lalande was a frequent visitor to the guard station, and he even had relatives near Lucas's hometown of Bagnols. However, after reviewing Lalande's phone records, authorities discovered that he could be more than 100 miles away from the location where Lucas went missing on March 18, 2015. Authorities later ruled him out of any involvement in the teen's disappearance. On February 14, 2018, authorities discovered Miles D. Araujo's body after Lalande led them to the location where he disposed of her remains. In October 2018, the witness who had been seen near the bus stop on the day Lucas vanished was finally apprehended and questioned, but no link could be found between this male individual and Lucas. Despite their heartache, the Tronche family never gave up hope that Lucas would return home. Over the years, mass gatherings have taken place on the anniversary of Lucas's disappearance in an effort to raise awareness about his case. Unfortunately, Lucas's case eventually went cold. The case remained unresolved until the discovery of bones and clothing in Bagnols on the 24th and 25th of June 2021, believed to belong to the missing boy, Lucas Tronche. Researchers performed DNA and genetic testing on the bones and clothing, confirming that the remains belonged to 15-year-old Lucas Tronche. Lucas was well known for his interest in geology, and he would frequently visit this location to collect stones. Strangely, the cause of Lucas's death remains unknown, but French police suspect an accidental fall, a deliberate act of throwing oneself into the void, or an altercation. The truth about what happened on the day Lucas disappeared, as well as the events that followed, remains unknown. We're not sure how or why Lucas died. We can only hope that the Tronche family will eventually get the answers they so desperately need. Lucas was a joyful and healthy teenager, and his death in such mysterious circumstances warrants further investigation by authorities. Was Lucas the victim of a foul play? Did he die because of an altercation with someone or a group of people? Or did something extraordinary happen to him that resulted in his premature death at the age of 15?